The external oblique muscles will be muscles, say, going from the pubis to the outer rib cage. When that muscle is activated, it will help twist you to the left side. Whereas the internal oblique muscle on the opposite side, going from the center of the rib cage to the outer hip, that will contract to twist you to the left. So when you exhale fully, you tighten both external and internal oblique muscles. But when you twist to the left, you'll tighten the right external oblique and the left internal oblique. And yet they, in combination, will give you stability around your spine. So an active twist gives you tremendous stability, but that co-activation of opposing muscles does not disable your diaphragm from working. So I twist actively, the abdomen is firm, but I can still breathe into my abdomen, which means I'm balancing anatomical stability with physiological good conditioning. Now, as the movement becomes easier to do, I can start to resist the movement to increase stretch. So while still pushing my left hip forward, my right armpit in the direction the armpit is facing, so it's as if the hip and the armpit are trying to push towards each other. That gives me stability. I can actually stretch my hip and shoulder further by pulling them in opposite directions. So as I move into the next movement then, my left knee will be pushing to the left, but my left hip is pushing to the right. My right elbow pushing to the right, but my right shoulder pushing to the left. This takes coordinated action. And for most people, if they try this, usually the abdomen goes soft and there's risk of damage to the spine. I push left hip forward and to the right. I push right shoulder to the left. I push the left knee now to the left side, and the left outer hip is tensing while it's stretching, which actually makes it stretch further. I'm going to pull my right elbow to the right, but my right shoulder is moving to the left. Right shoulder pushing to left gives a spinal firmness. Right elbow pushing to right tightens, tenses the outside of the right shoulder while it's lengthened, while it's stretched, and that increases the stretch. It also makes that muscle a little bit stronger. And then when I release those grips, everything is much more relaxed. This is called the relaxation response. Before releasing in the pose, I again push the left knee to the right, right elbow to the left, so I can release safely without having the muscles rebound and release like they're a rubber band releasing. Now I do a spinal extension movement to finish. Again, I stretch them out with the feet, turning the right foot out, and I arch the back. Checking with my fingers where the stiffest part of my spine is, I tell myself to bend where my body is stiff rather than weak. For me, it's about the base of my thorax, just at the junction between the lumbar and the thoracic spine. That's the same for most people. It's the region around the kidneys. So I pull the middle of the back inwards, lift the collarbone, take the back of the hands together to my forehead, and push armpits forward and up, throat forward, chin up, and then breathe from my diaphragm into the abdomen. Firm but calm, I take my arms up. The body is firmed by stretching them out with the feet, which tightens front of left hip, back of right hip. And it's relaxed by breathing diaphragmatically. So anatomy and physiology are balanced. Neurologically, there is movement, energy and information through the nervous system. And on a cardiovascular level, the blood is flowing without the heart having to work hard. I stretch them out with the feet as I come back to the kneeling plank, or the full plank as I am now. And I push the hips to the hands, gives me firmness. Breathing into the abdomen gives me calm. Lower into the push-up, and I'm squeezing heel of hand in. Fingers gripping gives me firmness. A simple extension movement, using the hips and shoulders to traction the spine and bend it evenly, protecting the weakest part of my body, the lower back, because I'm pushing the sitting bones forward. Here I extend the spine. But a spinal extension is also balanced because I'm pushing the sitting bones forward, and that firms the front of my abdomen. I keep that action as I bend forward, and now it's safe for me to do a forward bend with my legs straight because my hamstrings are not stretching, because my spine is also protected because I'm pushing my sitting bones forward and my armpits backwards. As I stand back up, again I push the hips forward, and that gives me protection.